then, the key then becomes some people you go to, they give you too much of it. They're like, no, here's what you got. It's not going to do anything. You're going to be all right. So it's important whose counsel you take, because there's the extremes on both sides. One that is zero tolerance at all. I don't want to know nothing about it. And there's another side that is extreme. The source becomes like, who do I trust to go talk to where I can get this intel from? And is there a book or a website or an article or somewhere to go to where you like start here and then go from there, or no?
No, really, no.
Really?
No, not that I would ever come across myself.
Not the fact that you would ever come across yourself. How did you learn about it? Like for even you to be at where you're at, like who did you, like maybe not even a name, but was it yourself like, hey, everybody's talking about this. What is Anadrol 50? What is Deca? What are the compounds that do well together? Is Winnie good for you? What's Winstrol? What's water-based? What's oil-based? What's oral? What's this? What's that? Like, how did you start learning about all this stuff? Or was it the fact that maybe you had somebody in your life that had already years of education where you had an edge because somebody could tell you, don't waste your time with this, do this, this is what this guy did, that's what these guys are using, let's go research that, let's start out with the blood. Is that where kind of you had a little bit of insight?
It was definitely a bit of both of that.
Yeah, that makes
sense.
And
I've always been a relationship person, and I'm building relationships is like the biggest thing, progressing in anything, having people you can trust. So I had people who could trust who were helping me, and they were always like, minimum effective dose, always. Start with the least possible and then go up from there. And then at a young age, I had a run-in with my health issues, and that's when I was like, okay, well, like this didn't cause it, but it could make it worse. So you hear things like Tren and Anadrol and all these things, and these are the hardcore ones. All right, hardcore usually means harder on your body as well. If it works more, it's probably harder on your body. Stay away from those. Do the more... if you can get it prescribed from a doctor, it's probably more researched and healthier. You're going to be doing higher doses than a doctor would, but minimum effective dose. Start as small as possible and slowly increase. You don't need to throw the kitchen sink at it to start. You start small and slowly progress over time and change every other variable before that variable. If you can change, I've still been progressing my recovery, my nutrition, my training, everything has been getting better over the years so that I can change all those variables, and I haven't had to change the amount of steroids I take for the last 5 years. It's decreased over my career.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit.
I mean, muscle maturity too is a
of course, yeah.
I've only been training for like 14 years, but that's not that long in the world of bodybuilding.
No.
I'm only 28, and I'm still, my body's just staying the same weight, but I look more mature, more dense over time. So I don't need to be just like blasting shit to get huge. I'm fine-tuning everything else, training harder, and I've been able to progress with my work ethic, And there's a lot more to say about that than there is just taking more drugs.
Is there any website AI that, you can look at someone's physique and you put your physique there to say, you can actually have a physique that one day you could compete for Mr. Olympia. Is there anything like that exists or no?
I don't know.
You know why I asked that question? The reason why I asked that question is because some people think they can't. And you can, do you think you can generally tell with a kid after he works out for about a year, like, you have the right physique that if we build it, like, the endomorph, the mesomorph, the ectomorph, all that stuff, to say, you could actually do something with this body here. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you look at a 16-year-old kid, like, this kid's got something here with the body that it puts together. Or you're like, no, I disagree. I think you got to go 5 years to see if somebody's got it.
I would say there's a scale to everything.
Of course.
There's the people with the worst genetics in the world where you could imagine if they could train for a year and they can't even lose body fat, or it's very hard to. It's probably going to be difficult for them, or if they're 110 pounds, then yeah. But in the middle realm where most people lie, I would say it takes years to really see if you can or not. Because I've seen people who have trained for a long time and look good, and I'm like, they're okay. And then they start learning a little bit different. They find a new edge of how hard they can train, and all of a sudden their physique changes in a year more than it did the past 3 years. So everybody's so different.
I just say that because, when you see Arnold when he was at 16, 17, the way his chest would stay up, or you would look at you younger, like look at the way.
I would say at a Mr. Olympia level.
Yeah.
Then you can probably tell when they're young. Yeah. If you don't have that first picture of me with that headband and that green shirt.
Yeah, that's the one.
I was in high school,
17
full natural, been training for a few years. I'd just been learning how to eat. I was just eating a lot. I didn't know properly how to, and obviously I had a hell of an amount of muscle on me for a high school student.
Are there any supplements for you where you're like, dude, these are some of the go-to supplements that I would, spend some time researching and looking up more? Because back in the days, it's very trendy, right? Oh, creatine, HMBO, V2GO, CLAO, all this stuff. Is there anything where it's like, these supplements, whether you want to be a bodybuilder or not, your body may need some of this. This is what you want to look up. And then some of the ones, if you are a bodybuilder and you're competing, these are some of the go-to supplements. And maybe it's some of them that you sell yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I always look at things that stand the test of time. Creatine monohydrate is the most basic, cheapest thing you can buy. It's been researched the most, and it's been proven to work the most. And it absolutely does work. It's not going to be like steroids where you're going to change your life, but it will help your recovery and your progress, and you will get better from taking it. And then based off that, it's just nailing nutrition in my eyes. You know, pre-workout can help you have a harder workout, get more vasodilation, get a little more blood flooding to the muscles, but it's not necessary. It just helps. Protein powder, I think, is a huge help because if I'm having to get over 200 grams of protein in a day, it's hard to get that from food and expensive. A shake will help you get there. But other than that, everything else is just kind of bonuses that aren't really needed. And I've gone through Olympia preps where all I've taken was creatine and protein. And then everything else was taking steroids, of course, but it was focused more on diet and nutrition.
Got it.